the U.S. President Barack Obama set a very high bar to reach in his Prague speech of 2009 when he spoke about the need to put a high priority on the non-proliferation of fissile materials, of nuclear weapons-related materials, which subnational groups, terrorists, could potentially get their hand on. The Nuclear Security Summit, which has taken place in The Hague in the Netherlands, has been a very good effort, and it's another step forward as the third summit in this whole series that Barack Obama launched back in 2009 to try to build really global standards around the non-proliferation and availability of particularly high-enriched uranium and plutonium weapons-grade nuclear materials. There's also been a lot of emphasis placed on radioactive sources, and this is relatively new in the summit series. Radioactive sources being those which are less radioactive, less dangerous than weapons-grade fissile materials, but in fact still probably more vulnerable to theft and diversion and loss and lack of security in hospitals and industrial settings. I think, number one, it's been very important, and we're very supportive of the fact that we have to limit the amounts of fissile material, particularly weapons-grade fissile material, that are literally in, at least a couple dozen countries, all of the nuclear weapon states, and then those with major nuclear power programs as well. And then secondly, we really have to get a handle on radioactive materials, and those are not just in a couple dozen countries, those are in literally well over 100 countries or more. Any country with radioactive treatments, any industry that treats agricultural products and the like. So we all know terrorists are trying to get weapons of mass destruction, nuclear, chemical, and biological. We all know, so they have the will. We all know they have the opportunity with the widespread dispersion of all these radioactive and nuclear materials. The question is, do they have the capability of building a nuclear weapon or a dirty radioactive bomb? And the way you inhibit that, hopefully prohibit that, is really to limit the stockpiles of these materials around the world, and to limit the dispersion of them as well. So the Nuclear Security Summit in The Hague and the related Nuclear Knowledge Summit, which we were involved in as an NGO, as a non-governmental organization, have been very good towards pushing forward global standards for the physical security of these materials, number one. Number two, the conversion of nuclear power reactors from high-enriched uranium to low-enriched uranium, HEU to LEU, and there's been a lot of progress in that regard. And three, really the training and education of border control, customs officials, physical security of sites, and the like, intelligence sharing around the world. So there's been, a lot of progress made. I've just, arrived back from Amsterdam, where we did 2 days of discussions with 240 NGO representatives from around the world for the Nuclear Knowledge Summit. And that is the third conference that we, as the Fissile Material Working Group, have organized in Washington, Seoul, South Korea, and now Amsterdam. And we will organize a fourth summit in Washington in 2016. There was also an industrial summit, this time put on by Urenco, the European industry group. And those two non-governmental summits, combined with the governmental summit meeting in The Hague, really are a big step forward towards improving global security, particularly around nuclear fissile material and radioactive sources.